Politics lead now. Some fascinating political news today. He vowed to fight again, but did he mean to fight against his own party? Senator Ted Cruz's threat to filibuster the clean debt deal that just passed the Senate has suddenly put members of his own party in a very uncomfortable position. Joining me now with more to talk about it, Peter Baker, White House correspondent for the New York Times, Carol Lee, White House correspondent for the Wall Street Journal, and CNN chief political analyst Gloria Borger. So, Gloria, the House passes a clean debt deal. It goes to the Senate. The Senate was all set to pass it with just 50 votes, Democrats.
All Democrats.
All Democrats. Then what happens?
Then enter Senator Ted Cruz, who is not Mr. Congeniality today among Republicans, saying, you know what, I'm going to threaten to filibuster this, which means you need 10 more votes.
60 votes.
You need 60 votes, which meant that 5 Republicans, they needed to find 5 Republicans to walk the plank. So he was forcing members of his own party to take a politically perilous vote to raise the debt ceiling without commensurate spending cuts. And he forced members of his own party to do that, so they're not happy with him. On the procedural vote, he even forced Senator Mitch McConnell and Senator John Cornyn, both of whom are in tough primary fights on the procedural vote, to vote for raising the debt limit, although they later were able to reverse their vote, but still forcing them in a bad spot.
No Republican actually voted in the Senate to raise the debt ceiling, but they voted to allow it to proceed to vote. And what does this do for the Tea Party Republicans running against John Cornyn of Texas and Mitch McConnell of Kentucky?
It gives them ammunition. I mean, no one's try to explain what you just explained to an average voter. No one actually voted for the debt to raise the debt limit. That they voted for cloture. I mean,
sound like John Kerry in 2004.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I voted for it before I voted against it. So it gives plenty of ammunition to those and puts them all in a very tough spot.
And why would he do this? For the principle of the thing?
I mean, look, on the one hand, if you actually believe that this is a bad thing to do, you ought to be willing to take on your own party, not just the other party. It's one thing. A lot of people in Washington oppose something only when it's the other party doing it rather than their own. Ted Cruz he's standing on what he believes to be principle. On the other hand, as Gloria said, he's made a lot of enemies today, and that's not going to serve him well in Washington in the next few months and years.
You know, Ted Cruz was at the center of the government shutdown, which didn't go so well for Republicans. And the Republicans who learned that lesson are looking at Ted Cruz today and going, oh my God, didn't you learn the lesson of the shutdown? If we didn't raise the debt ceiling, that we would default, and guess who would get blamed? We would, and the public wouldn't like it. But obviously, Ted Cruz has a different interpretation.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second, though, as I forced Peter to do just a second ago, which is, there is this kabuki, there's this charade. Okay, bring the clean debt ceiling over, and just Democrats will vote for it, and the rest of us Republicans won't. We'll vote against it. And then Ted Cruz says, but that's not what you actually think. You actually want it. You actually support it. And 12 Republicans have to vote for the procedural vote to support it. In a way, again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. In a way, what he did was very principled.
Well, it also principled in the sense that it probably plays better outside of Washington, where people are really frustrated with Washington and people see that kind of kabuki that's going on. And so somebody who's willing to stand up and say, this is what I think, and actually get behind it, has probably appeal outside of Washington, because it goes against that insider game that frustrates people about Washington.
So he's also the last man standing as the Republicans conduct this sort of organized retreat from showdowns since the government shut down. John Boehner's retreated, Mitch McConnell's retreated. Ted Cruz can sit there and say, I'm the only guy left who actually stands.
It's about him.
Yeah.
It's about his brand.
He goes in 2016. He's got something to say.
Speaking of 2016 brands, Rand Paul, senator from Kentucky, Republican with a libertarian side to him, he today brought suit against the Obama administration for the National Security Agency's data collection program. Here he is earlier today.
On behalf of myself, FreedomWorks, and everyone in America that has a phone, we are filing suit against the President of the United States in defense of the Fourth Amendment.
Now, he is filing lawsuit against Obama and Obama's National Security Agency director, et cetera. But this is also a program that Republicans support. It's a program that the metadata, I believe, began under George W. Bush. So this is his brand, too, but this is also something that's going to ruffle feathers, I think.
Well, yeah, it exposes more divisions within the Republican Party. It's in that same vein as what Ted Cruz is doing on the debt ceiling, and it's also in that same vein of what Ted Cruz is doing in that it's geared towards 2016 and this the fight that he's taking on in terms of the NSA is something that appeals to a constituency that he's looking to stake out in the 2016 election.
Although, Peter, there are a lot of people on the left who agree with Rand Paul on this, who believe that the metadata collection should stop and the record should be erased. I would not be surprised if we saw some, well, I guess I'd be surprised if I saw Democratic lawmakers, but it wouldn't surprise me if, say, and I'm just making this up, Glenn Greenwald joined the suit. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
You do have an alliance of sorts in this kind of issue. ACLU, civil liberties type folks, and the Rand Paul libertarians. It crosses different party lines, and they're against the center. The Dianne Feinstein, centrist Democrat, Mike Rogers, Republican national security hawk, wings of their party. So it's kind of an interesting and unusual alignment in an era when we've been so polarized along party lines.
So guess who Rand Paul had lunch with today? The Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder. So
he did?
Yes, he did. So the day that he sues the government, they're actually decide to have lunch because there are issues. Speaking of disparate wings agreeing with each other, there are issues they actually agree on.
Oh, on mandatory minimums.
Right, and disenfranchisement of felons and et cetera, et cetera. So he was having lunch with the Attorney General this afternoon, suing him in the morning.
This is Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be talking a lot about Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, and what they did today, I think, has a little bit possibly to do with 2016. Carol, Peter, Gloria, thank you.